Can I put my face in here too?
If you can, sure.
Are you doing it now or?
Sorry.
You go this next, sorry. And then you
Okay. No, I'm good either way.
Oh, yes. Okay. I think that, yes. They come see this.
Yeah, I'm looking at your personal email or something so I can connect with you.
How do I?
I think one email is the easiest one to get me in, but I'll give you my personal one.
It looks like it keeps going down, but I just go down if I want to continue. How do I go?
I'm gonna lay on my phone. I'm old school. That's okay. You should have my number. Don't you have my number? You could always get me on Tyndale. You want me to just put it in? Yeah. And you can save it? Exactly. I don't have any knowledge in mission. And you can save it. Lord. Yeah, don't I have you? Business you? Oh, you do. Oh, from that time, I guess I messaged you when I was asking you to do my Yes. Wow. Oh my God. Is this your home or your cell? This is my cell. Okay, I'll change it. Maybe I can use my old phone.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. James.
So my presentation is about the caste system within the African diaspora in Toronto. My experience is a little bit different than most. My woes in life has been from my own community members. My children's woes in life being Canadian is from my own community members. So I find that the outside blame has taken away from us taking the inside responsibility and not asking the inside to do the work that not asking the outside to do the work that we haven't done inside, and bearing responsibility that the outside is reflecting what we're doing to ourselves inside. So we need to go back to the scripture of taking the speck out of our own first before we go around and ask people to do the same. So that is just a background of where I'm coming from. So the caste system in the African diaspora has caused immense harm, including hate, crimes, trauma, abuse of power, depression, suicidal thoughts, low self-esteem, and the destabilization of families. Embracing elements of any Marxism to reflect the unique experiences of the African diaspora to promote said diversity, inclusion, and equality will not be effective. This approach must be abandoned immediately. To truly heal the lives of the African diaspora, we must address the root cause of colonialization in contemporary societies. It is important to recognize that blaming and shaming of whites will not resolve the effects of colonialization. It is not a color group of people who are the cause of discontentment and harms towards the people of African descent. It is the energy that inhabits everyone due to a handed-down indoctrination of who is more deserving of dignity, respect, and freedoms. It is the energy that denies access based on the rights of human merit or capability, but instead rewards based on skin color, eye color, hair color, ethnicity, religious affiliation, geographic region, social status, or income bracket. And in 2020, your personal medical status. That energy is the open and hidden enemy of the African diaspora. Authentic help for the African diaspora will come by replacing all Marxism-based academic curriculum and professional development workshops with Heal Your Life personal and professional development workshop facilitated by African diaspora. It is the solution. So, how to heal the African diaspora? Caste system in Toronto. The elephant in the room. It is the hate that is killing. The hate inside is what's killing us, not what is outside. The caste system is not an Indian exclusive experience only to the Dalits. The caste system, known mostly to manifest in the United States, India, and Nazi Germany, can also be regarded as tribalism, a form of anti-Black racism, or the subgrouping of humans within the African community. Gandhi birthed his revolution after traveling to South Africa, witnessing the system's effects in the African community. Debates surrounding Gandhi's being racist towards Africans while in South Africa has been attributed to his own prejudices created by his own caste mindset. So how does the caste system affect the quality of the life of an African diaspora in Toronto? The caste system travels with people who immigrate with that mindset. As people immigrate, their racism and their caste oppression mindsets immigrate with them. The implications are to bring. It's okay. I remember when I did that. The implications are to bring to the forefront the importance of awareness and acknowledgement as the African diaspora in Toronto allows others within our community to promote hate towards outside communities, attributing them the only blame for the lack of equality, diversity, and inclusion and human rights experienced towards the African diaspora community. While the community itself perpetuate toxic modes. Stop moving, Professor. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna go to this one. Yeah, it's all right. Not a problem. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Because I'm under time constraints, so I'm like, I'm trying to get it. Yes, while the community itself perpetuate toxic modes of behavior towards their own members. Far from being simply a historical phenomenon, the insidious implication persists. So my literature review. So one of my literatures I'm going to pull out is the Mahatma Gandhi's life and freedom struggle. So the colleagues, Balasubramanian and the colleagues, they delve into the life of Mahatma Gandhi and his role in India's fight for independence amongst the British colonial rule. The authors provide a detailed exploration of Gandhi's journey from his early years to becoming a prominent leader and advocate of nonviolent resistance. Starting with Gandhi's formative years, including his upbringing, educational, and experiences in South Africa, the authors highlight how these shaped his ideologies and strategies. My next article was Black Self-Hatred, Regaining Self-Worth. This article makes the claim that the problem of violence among Black people in South Africa takes on various forms like Black-on-Black harassment in the workplace that I have continuously experienced. Unfortunately, this self-hatred and inferiority complex within our community hinder the popular mantra of Black is beautiful from resonating with the entire mass. While there are several factors that contribute the sluggish pace of transformation, the author makes emphasis that the South African community must also examine its own role of self-hatred in this process. Discrimination and social isolation among African Americans, the moderating role of skin tone. The literature review examines studies that have investigated the moderating role of skin tone in discrimination and social isolation among African Americans, also known as the African Diaspora. Also to note that Americans and Americas are all North, South, Central, and the Atlantic. When they meet for the meeting of the Americas, it is all of us, North, South, Central, and the Atlantic, that include the Caribbean. So when we say Americans, it's all of us. The literature suggests that skin tone can play a moderating role in the experiences of discrimination and social isolation among Americans, African Americans. For example, a study in the article by Hunter 2007 found that darker-skinned African Americans were more likely to report feeling socially isolated than lighter-skinned African Americans. Similarly, the study by Martin and colleagues, 2011, found that darker-skinned Africans reported feeling more socially excluded than lighter Americans. We're here because you were there. Immigration and the End of the Empire. One of the book's strengths is the author's thorough research, which includes historical sources sources, academic literature, and first-hand accounts to support his arguments about immigration. The author provides a nuanced analysis of various factors that influence immigration patterns, including economic, motivation, political development, and social dynamics. The book addresses the impact of immigration on both the receiving society and the immigrating communities itself, exploring issues such as racism, discrimination, and policies of belonging. Staging the scars of colonialism, no escape for characters of the Caribbean drama. This dissertation from Torres delves into the portrayal of characters in Caribbean drama themselves, who are profoundly impacted by the lasting effects of colonialism. By closely analyzing selected plays, he identified recurring themes, motives, and narratives strategies utilized by the Caribbean playwrights. This dissertation adds to the existing knowledge base by revealing the unique ways in which Caribbean drama engages with legacy of colonialism. Caste, the origins of our discontent. Wilkerson, an African American, argues that the caste system within America is a fundamental system of social hierarchy that underlines many forms of discrimination and inequality. The author argues that caste is a fundamental system of social hierarchy that undermines many forms of discrimination and inequality, including race, gender, and class. So my discussion and my research findings. Slide 7. The demonstration of how deep. After I researched, 26 books I was able to do. I couldn't do the whole 30 because, like everybody, there was nothing new. The demonstration that I found of how deep the root of the caste system within the African diaspora goes, and how difficult the task of unification towards decolonization has become as a consequence for the African diaspora rewards for the silence and the tolerance of this system within us. Butcher 2019 provides an argument of how the effects of dehumanization has been and is so deeply ingrained that decolonization in itself failed to remedy its effects. After formal decolonization, dehumanization and other forms of discrimination continue to persist. Robinson 2021 argues that discrimination based on skin tone has long been a problem within the Black community, resulting in a range of negative outcomes, including poor mental health and low self-esteem in our own. So when we have children that are going to school that are saying they're scraping their skin off, it's not because of the whites. Similarly, a study from Lander and McNeil in 2019, empirical evidence demonstrates that skin tone and experiences of colorism, an overlooked form of discrimination that prevails lighter skin over darker skin tone, still persists and may also result in traumatic stress known and still experienced within the African diaspora. It's not a phenomenon that has gone, ladies and gentlemen. It's still here. The model depicts how historical and contemporary underpinnings of colonialism leads to colorist incidents that may directly and indirectly, by eliciting traumatic stress reactions, lead to negative effects on health and interpersonal relationships within the African diaspora. Wilkerson 2020 also provides comprehensive analysis in her book, and the book provides a historical and complementary examples of the caste system and offers insights on how we prevent this. I'm wearing this outfit, as you can see. This is my friend and a colleague in the fight. His face and his name is all right now in investigation with the Toronto District School Board. I worked with this man. And as a result of the anti-Black racism that we are pointing outside, he committed suicide. Remember our last class on the 13th? And I had all these technical issues, and my screen was just going crazy, and I came on huffing and puffing. I found that was when he committed suicide. I believe that he was trying to connect with me somehow. I remember I came to class an hour late, and I was just frustrated, and I was like, Professor, I don't know what's going on. My screen went black. I went to another screen, it went blue. Then it told me it was about, like, I was like, what's going on? I was so frustrated. That was the same night he committed suicide. application to ministry, Occupy Until I Come. Affected not only by internal anti-Black hate, but also their history of competing against each other for 1% of the pie, allocated by the community, and a mindset of a ruling class that appointed political leaders and positioned religious shepherds from man-made sororities, fraternities, and toxic application of Bible theology, ensures the continuation of the darkness within humanity that decolonization has now been transformed to neocolonization. The Bible may not explicitly mention the term of racism, but it undeniably addresses issues related to prejudice, discrimination, and the treatment of others. It emphasizes that every human being has the inherent dignity and worth as they are created in the image of God, Genesis 1:27. The parable of the Good Samaritan, Luke 10:25-37, teaches about loving one another and our neighbors and breaking down social barriers. These passages, among others, convey the overreaching message of love, equality, and the rejection of discrimination. Richard was a comrade in advocacy. We crossed paths in 2022 when I ran for the Toronto District School Board for Scarborough Centre. And again, we crossed paths at a meeting while I was advocating as a delegate for the Toronto District School Board against the merit-based program that they have unilaterally canceled for the said reason of systematic racism. I was a product of specialized programs. My children were. And we got in there by merit, not by our skin color. So when we stepped in a room, we owned it. It was not a quota. And when we lower merit, our children are not fortified because they do not believe they got there by merit. It's unproductive the way that our community is moving. This man, Richard, he was also a member of the Foundation Against Intolerance and Racism. He was also an advocacy and organization. It was an organization dedicated to civil rights and anti-discrimination. From his own personal experience, he allowed himself to see racism. He saw it in his unique lens, and he fought for it. And him and I stood side by side fighting for it. On July 13, 2023, this ally, a comrade and a friend, committed suicide. He lost the mental health fight from being bullied by the generational years of our lack of integrity, always blaming a group of people and not identifying the content of someone's character and not their skin color. The bullying was wrong. The blame and shame of only external players and no reflection of the internal ones who are the gatekeeper for the African diaspora oppression is unjust. We have a lot of gatekeepers that are keeping the story alive because they get grant money and they get funded. It is not in their best interest for the African diaspora to be free, and I know them very well. And I don't fit into their cliques because I don't purport it. There is no future in diversity, inclusion, and equality by destroying our allies. Or could that be the intent, to destroy our allies? My last slide. My conclusion. Looking at the caste system and its widespread injustices to the African diaspora as a whole, and focusing on the Toronto community specifically, this system rules by hierarchy and dehumanization of members based on their skin tone, physical appearance, region, and slave ancestry. It is this system the African diaspora should be focused on. This is the elephant in the room that is killing us. The interjection of jealousy of what another has, employment, their career, their perceived better life, their spouse, their marriage, their family unit, their easier life, the access to schools that you think that they have, creates hate, greed, negative mindset towards those. And I'm going to end with this. This caused the beginning of identifying excellence with whiteness and the identity of blackness to be a struggle, a tough life, a harsh exterior. The hate for anyone that signifies whiteness began from that mindset. And so it latches on hate towards anyone that they perceive as having it. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Does anyone have a question for it?
And I appreciate you guys allowing me to go over time. Thank you.
I heard about you financially.
Yeah.
Being in an educational system, and that broke my heart then, even more so now, because, you know, what do you say? Degree of separation? So like,
6
you know, 6 degrees.
It's a separation. You know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody.
Yeah.
2 weeks before he passed away, he spoke with me, and he told me he had a plan. And he reached out to me personally, said, Opa, I want you to be a part of it. I said, sure, Richard, you got my, you know, yeah, it was after summer, myself, him, and Wade. And that was the last picture I had with him. 2 weeks before he passed away. And he was an ally to our community. And members of our community attacked him, and the cowards didn't stand because they were afraid of the spoken ones of the community. We are destroying our allies. And the fights that I have won is because of my allies. And the fights that I have gone through and my children have gone through is as a result of that caste system mindset within the African diaspora. It's not the white people that are our problem. We have to do a mirror image and a mirror work and stop handing over power and asking them to be the one to change.
Great job. Great job. Thank you. He's passionate about it. He's great.
Trust me.
Great job.
It's okay.
It's okay.
You're still here to carry
Great
on.
job.
Yeah, we got a plan to finish out.
Yeah. It's a spiritual battle.
Thank you.
You can edit.
Thank you.